is Mike and I have talked about this a lot. Like, why not? If we're already talking in our StreamYards room, like why not just hit
Hit
live?
record. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. No. So let's walk through it. Let's
Sure.
just the two of you and I mean, if other people hop on, I'll say things. But all right. If you're watching this later, this is Tony and Alex. We are
Hi.
working on a supplement for Troika. We started it during Troika Fest. We did a design jam on a Friday afternoon because I said Alex would, and then he actually happened to be free that day. I had not checked with him in advance. And people have gone and supported it. You can support it if you go to the link down below. If you're watching this on YouTube later, and no one's watching it live right now, but if you go to I think it's like tonyplus1.itch.io/divine sub. I'll make sure you can find it. Oh, somebody is watching now. But we're doing some design work. We're just making some alchemy for Troika. Troika does not have an alchemy. It's a science fantasy thing. We've got an oops table we made up together. I went back through and made a couple edits on some of this stuff, but we've also got like a draft version of this live on Itch right now. You can go get basically the first third, I would say, maybe closer to half. I guess no third because we're going to add more stuff right now. So, but yeah, so we've got 6 backgrounds currently, plus a couple more in the works. And then we've got a bunch of potions that I worked on. And we've got some rules for how alchemy could work in Troika that are not heavy or belabored or anything else like that. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted fun, gameable alchemy that made alchemists feel like a fun character to play without them having to come up with a whole lot of annoying new rules. So basically, alchemists can prep a certain amount of potions based on how good they are at alchemy. Anytime they sit down, a couple potions require a certain period of time, but very few do. You just usually have to have enough skill, and if you don't have enough skill, you can work on it some one day and then some the next day. And then the other thing you got to have is the money. But yeah, so the characters we've got so far are the scholarly transmaterialist, who is like your classic hidden in a forest or on a high tower alchemist. He's got a funky pair of glasses that let him look at the alchemical reactions of stuff.
I like that.
I changed this to the philosopher's notebook, which I liked as kind of like a near philosopher's stone things. He gets +1 alchemy.
Yeah, perfect. And I like that he can lose it. That was my thing. Is that like this dude needs his stuff.
Yeah,
It's not all in his head. He's learned so much that he's got to be there.
And then I gave him chemically enhanced determination as an item.
That's perfect. I love that.
Yeah, like I feel like, and also I changed this because you gave him a silver spoon and I gave him a candle and a bundle of matches. So I feel like these 3 together were a little bit like he's
doing heroin in the woods.
He's getting alchemical on his own supply, if you know what I mean. So yeah. We've got some alchemy, we've got some astronomy, we've got some. Do we want astronomy or astrology?
I had put, I think, astronomy because again, this dude seems more science, less woo woo.
Okay.
To me,
cool.
That he's like, it's not like the stars are there and that allows me to be more powerful. It's like the stars are there, so the St. John's wort will turn the thing into the thing, and I know what to do with it.
We also gave him. I've still never figured out how to actually pronounce this.
Mithridatism.
Anyways, he can resist poison a little bit. He's got some calligraphy. I also figured this is the kind of guy who I gave him a random roll on the spell table. Like he can cast a spell.
I like that.
So
he's learned one.
He's learned a spell.
He works on it. He works on it every day.
Yeah. And then we've got the student homebrewer. This is the guy who, like you may have gone to college with this guy. You may not have. You also may have known this guy after college because student homebrewers exist in all kinds of places. This is the guy who's growing pot or shrooms or running a still somewhere in the building that nobody else knows where is. And so he
this
basically
guy will eventually become your friend that is like always like he's gonna become like the pickle friend, or you're like, you know, the guy who always brings over the peppers.
Speaking as the pickle pepper friend,
are you the pickle friend?
I am the pickle. I mean, I love pickles.
Awesome.
I do home pickle. I make a lot of my own
Yep.
bread, you know.
There you go. Yep.
Um, so he also might grow up to solve like, you know, to create some sort of amazing cure that, you know, does some, um,
Sure.
so
Hey, pickles
basically,
can save lives, brother.
yeah. And he basically got a half a year of alchemy underneath his belt and then was like, you know what? I don't need to go to class anymore. So he's got 4 cloudy jars, 1 special brew, which we don't define what is. This says 2 stocks. It should say 2 socks full of
That's right. It's just
ingredients. We're gonna put regents.
the oversized hoodie is new from the last one.
That is, I put that in there, and then trunk
First
with
time I've seen that. It's really great. Of
uh,
course, he's got the oversized.
which came. My son's been doing art stuff, and so that came from the actual drawing. Like the trunk with false bottom was the other thing. Like
Yeah.
he's got a place to just make things. Let's see what else we got. He's good. Oh yeah, I scattered his skills around a whole lot. So he's got 2 Mithridatism, so he's really good at resisting poison. 2 hide, 2 at all nighter, 2 at scavenging.
I'm really
1
happy with that one.
1 smuggle, 1 alchemy, 1 merchant. May ignore cost of a potion in favor of scavenging for what is available. Potions made this way are never safe. That's a mechanical thing. I have an additional side effect from the table listed below. Horrible smell, delayed effect, which means it takes time to activate.
God, delayed effect is really good.
Yeah,
So
purple
you think it doesn't work, and then from your DM, so you're just as the DM, you should be like, "Oh
doesn't
no,
work.
man,
Yeah.
nothing's happening." And then 45 minutes later, it hits hard.
Yeah. Well, and the best part is because they're never safe, you're always rolling on the failure table, and one of the things on the failure table is like it doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
And you also don't know if it's not obvious what happened on the failure table.
Right. That's is because the DM is the game master's rolling that roll, right? And
Correct.
not you.
Correct. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how it works in actual normal Troika, but I like that idea for
I
potions that you don't know unless
Yeah.
unless it's evident, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
And then purple hue grants +1 second sight, which is a good thing. I made a drink that was called purple juice, because there's a spell called purple vision that basically makes you think that everything is great, even if it's not. And so this is kind of an homage to that. So basically, like it lets you kind of view through the astral plane. Extra volume, like it's more than he meant to make, so you get basically an extra dose out of it. 5 mostly alcohol may cause intoxication, which I love. Just like, yeah, like it totally worked, but also you're just straight up drunk now. You just had grain alcohol go into your system. And then addictive. Must consume another in 24 hours or minus D3 skill.
God, that's fast. Just jumps right up on you.
Yeah, like you got to get another. But I mean, just
Yep.
just it's fine. Like if you don't. So the next one is Academy Duelist. This is I actually got to play Academy Duelist last week in the Troika UV game. It was fun. Trained in the deadly games of the Academy, you were a champion who thrilled to the sounds of the crowd. You wear the medals of those you have defeated around your neck as a testament to your skills. Now you travel the spheres competing against others for your glory and that of the for your glory and that of the Academy. But the question is, are your best days behind you? How will you stay competitive? I actually need to go back up because I think I like asking questions at the end of things just to give players a little bit something to crunch on. So we may go back and add those up ahead. So this person gets they've got a dueling pistolet, a plasmatic core. They have 2 other alchemical cores rolled randomly, there's a table down below for 1d6 plus 1 medallions counts as poorly armored. Stack of A5 headshots. They're basically your dueling cards, which I said they have dueling cards, and somebody was like, "Oh, so like to compete and play games with other people?" And I was like, "No,
like trading cards."
Yeah, they're A5 headshots with my stats on the back.
Yeah.
It's
Wikipedia entry on the back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then their skills are 3 shooting, 2 etiquette, which is like knowing how to do duels and competitions. Like I organized an entire competition with a bunch of other folks, like when we were at like a stop one time in the thing we played the other day. Awesome. Select 2 athletics or acrobatics. So are you like a strong, like physical, like, tough one, or like a flippy, shooty assassiny type duelist.
Beautiful.
One throwing, one gastronomy, one strength, one alchemy, and then they know how to make two types of random cores, right? So they roll button here. Special, when you lose your last medal, you are no. Oh, did I do this? Oh, I did the special on the other one. When you lose your last medal, you're no longer a duelist. You must hang up your pistolet and end your career. You gain or lose medals in any sanctioned competition. These are valuable and may be sought after by non-duelists. Basically, that they duel, like your medals are a currency that matters in the game to you, right? And so, and then plasmatic cores are normal to Troika, but I thought it'd be fun to just come up with a bunch of different types of cores. So I came up with lightning. I mean, they're all alchemy, right? But lightning
Yep.
core, steam core,
Lightning,
magma
steam,
core,
magma,
celestial,
celestials.
slumber.
That's fun.
And so we'll probably need some damage tables or some tables, a little bit more explanation around that. But daring field chemist, this is kind of like somewhere between Indiana Jones and Batman. You excelled at theory, but when it came to the patience needed for lab work, you fell short. While others spend days or months or years on mixtures, you prefer the risk and reactions of the risk and risk and reward.
Risk and spontaneity of instantaneous risk
and the risk and the right now.
I'm just gonna right now. You just want that R.
I don't know. I don't care.
Just trying to think of a. Let's
risk
say
and
you say instant gratification in one word.
Excitement.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
the risk and excitement of instantaneous reactions.
You're an improviser. Rather than packing potions, your inventory includes ingredients that can be thrown together with whatever's at hand to create intense alchemical reactions. Is it safe? No, but it is fun. Some say that you're an adrenaline junkie. Is there something deeper that drives you? This goes back to, hey, Drew Cochran, watching over on YouTube. Thanks. Our beards are lovely. You can go to plus1exp.com and, buy stuff.
Get a bomb.
My sales pitch. Is there something deeper that drives you? So you've got a utility bolero with five elements. Oh, this should be regent. I was messing around with just reducing the list of like special things to I still want to reduce it down to a small like manageable number, but I was messing around with like the idea that it was like all these elemental something, and it didn't really work in my brain later on. You got goggles and thick leather gloves. You've got a sling for chunking up potions. You've got harvesting tools, and you've got 1d6 plus 3 fragile round vials.
Nice.
And so skills: 3 alchemy, 2 sling, 1 regent harmony, 1 athletics, 1 navigation, 1 survival, 1 engineering, 1 mathemology.
That's fun. That's all good stuff.
Yeah, I figured that's mathemology. We actually could probably combine engineering and mathemology into one thing, but I actually think it works better as 2.
Yeah, but why not? You can have that. I mean, those are different things.
Yeah. You may ignore normal, but not explicit time limitations. So basically, like, if your skill would only let you create something in 2 days, or you would need a day to make it normally, you can just whip it together on the spot. You can never
take
save
a penalty to that though.
Them.
Don't you like? You don't have to like always roll on an oops table, or there's like a higher percentage for the oops table just because you're busting stuff together.
No, because the concept here is like basically it's a use it or lose it. So if you I make this potion and then you decide like, oh, I don't want to blow this guy up.
I got you.
You wasted the ingredients, you know?
Yep. Yeah, you don't have it anymore.
And so the fact that it is instantaneous only, I felt like was a good. I think it's probably fair to say, it could be fair to say these potions are also never safe.
No, yeah. I mean, because you still have to roll as to whether or not they are.
Yeah, because you'll still roll you'll roll the if you double 6 on the roll to make it,
yeah,
you'll still roll on the oops making table. And when somebody consumes it, I think saying that they always have to because it's not safe, because basically like they haven't had time to distill and everything else.
Yeah, maybe just consuming it is never quite safe, but you're pretty good at making it.
Yeah, no, when I say these not safe means for consumption only.
Okay, not in the making. So like you don't have to like, as opposed to the home brewer.
No, the home brewer, it's also the same thing. It's always consumption. Consumption
Okay.
is
Well,
safety addresses consumption.
I like the I mean, do I feel like the daring field chemist went to school? Like he finished his degree, so like he knows a little bit more what he's doing.
Yeah, but
They
I
know a
think
little
the
bit more what
concept
they're
is
doing.
not it's not about like it's because they may, right? They may ignore the normal time to put things together. But essentially like it's still reacting. So they can still make a normal potion if they want to. If they're
Right.
like I want to make 3 of these, great. Like you can make them in advance.
And then that one's safe and
That
it's
one's
all
safe,
good.
it's normal.
Yep, totally. But like if you're up to your daring field chemistry, yes. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I thought you were saying the Daring Field, as in some place called Daring Field, like the Daring Field
Daring
chemist.
fields
I thought you were like the Daring Field chemist, which was probably some horrible person I just wasn't aware existed, but then I just realized it was
does sound like a horrible
a
like
bomber.
80s
Yeah,
British serial killer, yeah.
are never safe. All right, so
Gather
yeah,
round, children, and I'll tell you the tale of the daring field
Field
chemist.
chemist. Internal Alchemist. This is probably my favorite one so far that we have made. I love them all too.
Yeah,
Your body is your laboratory. Your knowledge of alchemy may be learned, innate, or both, but your power comes from a knowledge of combining basic alchemical ingredients with the power of your basic biological functions. Life-giving sweat, visions of the future, corrosive boogers. They are quite literally within your grasp. Often looked upon with as an undesirable member of society, you tend to roam from town to town, sharing your talents a few days at a time, or keep your practices as secret as possible.
yeah,
Uh,
Joe. We sort of made him a snake oil salesman
Yeah, but
because
who
he
can actually do
freaks
stuff? It's
people out.
just the fact that
Yeah,
that people aren't going to like what the way he makes things
it's
is
just
actually the
gross, man.
problem. Yeah.
I
So
just don't
possessions
want to
are
use.
sturdy shoes with secret compartments. This is almost all Alex, by the way. This one, sturdy shoes with secret compartments, ornate drinking horn, ornate teapot, ornate pipe. Alex is so quick on the improv; it's almost like he's a professional. This is what I added: hose with 3 flexible bladders.
I love that too. Absolutely, that's
The
amazing.
concept being that the major way you get the potion out of your body is
Yeah,
to get it out of your body.
yeah, you
Um,
milk yourself in
Fuck yourself.
various ways.
Can you milk me? So
Yes,
skills for Mithridism, which basically makes them just super potion immune.
gotta have that right if you're making
You're making it
you're
in your body.
making them in your
2
head. Yeah,
alchemy, 2 body control, 1 showmanship, 1 evaluate, 1 meditation. I actually feel like we should probably add like 1 like deception. Um, we could go smuggling or something else, but I feel like deception is probably the better way to go there.
yeah. Deception works. I feel like the showmanship you get there too. Like
Right.
that's
Well, I feel
the
like it's both, right? Like,
yeah.
so one is like the big public act that lets like the people think is what you're doing.
Hmm.
Like, Dr. Johnny's herbaceous lemonade. That's, like drink it and you'll feel
Yep.
amazing. Uh,
Luden's cough drops.
You
That's
require no
candy.
so this for this one you require no specialized equipment to create mixtures. Instead, you may ingest the required ingredients to produce the effects on your own body or secrete them after they have processed.
I love the last line a lot.
People will have feelings about this. um, yeah, I love the idea. This person does not need equipment, right? So basically,
Yeah.
we created a couple classes. One that like the essentials for alchemy are like you need time, the formula, the ingredients, the equipment, and that's kind of what you need to make one,
Yeah.
right? We basically created 3 classes that some of them don't need a piece of that. Like they don't need either the time or they don't need the ingredients, right, or the equipment potentially to make stuff. And that's I think that's a fun feel to basically let people also be able to say like, yeah, you want to change some of this, just change the way it works, right?
Yep.
If all alchemists, in your setting, just do things that's great. Like that's hilarious.
Sure.
If everybody eats the ingredients and then pisses them out later to make potions, I think that's the
Sure.
best. Um,
It's like having an all bard party. You've got
yeah,
an all internal
this
alchemist
party.
party.
Who harvests the liquid the liquid metal blood of the Mercadons, who peels the powders, who peels and powders the petals of the Halatian orchid. The regent harvester explores the boundaries and spheres and cares for the towards the boundaries of spheres and cares for the greenhouses and animal pens at the academy, maintaining a steady supply of routine and rare ingredients. You've heard rumors of an especially rare ingredient. What is it? I said I just like to end things with questions. We'll go back through and probably others in on some of the other ones. So he's got a filtration mask, a leather apron, which should probably count as
Yeah, some sort of armor there.
as poorly armored. Silver hand scythe damages sword, harvesting tools, and then misting canister or animal harness and feed. So when we asked the other day online, when I asked like who are people you would want to run into, somebody said the Glandsman, which was especially fun, and it did make me think about splitting the Regent Harvester into two, like the greenhouse harvester and like the animal harvester.
I mean, we could do some sort of like another. I mean, I like that the region harvesters. Maybe we could like debase it a little bit and get
Yeah.
it down into that. Like we could have someone who's almost more of a butcher. Like just, I like the idea that this person can do all of it, but we have one person who really
Who's like also really good at just cutting up animals. And,
just rips up animals. Yeah.
Or we could also do the same. Somebody who's just really
that also
good
means
at,
that person's gonna be kind of a hunter as well. Yeah. So that person could have some like tracking stuff, right? Where you're like a a where cryptid hunter or whatever.
Yeah. So hey, Sagan Editori just joined us. Who's doing some phenomenal work down in Brazil, helping bring the RPG scene to the forefront. We're working on our Troika supplement for Alchemy. Alex and I are just getting caught up on everything we've done so far. So we'll go a little bit faster through potions because there's a whole lot of them. So Regent Harvest is their number one skill. They're good at finding the stuff they need. Botany, animal care, blade work, which is just fun. Alchemy, I still can't pronounce it.
Mithridatism. It's my new favorite word.
Navigation and survival. So here's how alchemy works in Troika. To make an alchemical mixture, you must have access to the formula, ingredients, equipment, time. Every mixture has a value and skill, and anyone with the alchemy skill can produce a total value of mixtures equal to their skill in a day. And I changed everything from cost to value because I thought it made a little bit more sense. Roll under your skill total in the mixture you wish to create. Double ones will always succeed. Double sixes will always fail and require you to roll on the brewing oops table. Roll after each potion type. Here's an example of how it works. Cost and ingredients, how equipment works, how formulas work. Basically, if you have 0 advanced skill in a mixture, it can be assumed that you have access to the formula. So we actually will go back through and add some of those. Or we may just say pick three potions to have in your formula. We may just leave it up for people to say. Which I think may make a little bit more sense at default, but and then if you have one plus advanced in a mixture, it can be assumed that you have it memorized, basically that you don't carry it around in a book and it can't be taken from you.
Your signature brew. Yeah.
And then most potions are considered safe by default. By consuming unsafe potions or multiple potions in the same day can cause unforeseen reactions if you consume multiple potions. The Broops table, did I misspell it? Hold on. Oh, the Broops table. Someone's shorting it. R&M was making a portmanteau of brewing oops.
A brewing oops table.
A Broops table.
The Broops table.
I like that. It's 100% what
the Coops table and the Broops table.
Yeah, it's 100% what the freshmen call it, and they think they're really cool. And the teachers also call it that, but not when anybody's around.
Oh, dude, you made a Broops.
Made a Broops, dude. Also, so consumption. So potions at default are safe, but if you consume numerous potions, you have to roll on the oops table, right? The first time you roll, it's 12, but if you consume another third type of potion, it'd be an 11 or higher. Yep. But basically, so an unsafe potion kicks this up a notch. So when a potion is unsafe, you drink it, you immediately have to roll on the oops table.
Yeah.
You immediately have to roll for an oops. So if you get boxcars, something happens. But then when you roll it the second time, you're already rolling at 11 instead of rolling at 12. So it just it makes things more likely to generate reactions, which I do like. I don't know if did we do the other oops table together?
No, I think you did most of that one.
Here's some new advanced skills: Regent Harvey, Alchemy, Mithridatism.
Mithridatism, yes.
Mithridatism. And there'll be some other ones that are going to go in here also too by the time we're done. So then we've got D66 mixtures. Basically, you've got the name, the value, the description of mechanics, and the cost and the flavor ingredient. When the flavor ingredient isn't required, we'll pull them out separately in a separate list to let people kind of basically see here's a bunch of weird ingredients we made. I just tried to pick stuff that sounded either fantasy-ish, but also maybe kind of matched what it was, right? So Hearth is basically a slightly better than a provision potion, because in Troika you can just eat a meal and get some health back. So health potions exist, but they're not actually that much better, and they only cost slightly more than like a normal provision, but they are slightly better also. They come in either mint, cocoa, or Trevian berry flavor, and so
sour
is
apple.
decoding alchemical ciphers a featured part of gameplay? It certainly could be now. I will have rules on how you use alchemy to do other stuff in the setting also too. Yeah, Drew. Glue. A thick and sticky glue. You use powdered unicorn bone to make it. Only could be separated using alkahest. Otherwise, you have to wait for it to wear off. Grease. Making some formatting changes. We've got Babel Coda, which was some, I think, sort of bubble cola drink like thing on me, but it causes the drinker to speak not can only be consumed understood by others who have drank in the same mixture by the
probably
same.
what you meant there, not
No,
coda.
I think I meant coda because I wanted it to be like decoding.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it was a double wordplay.
Nice.
It's meant to evoke like a bubble cola. It's Babel.
Yeah,
it's Babel coda. Performance, popular in athletic competitions and other settings. Gain +1 skill or +2 in an advanced skill you already have. So you can gain +1 skill across the board, or 2 in an advanced skill you already have. For 1d6 hours, you need the gallbladder of a dead champion.
That's dark, but cool.
They could be a champion at anything. And
Sure,
most people are some type of champion.
I like that. That is optimistically still really fucking dark.
What was Jimmy good at? You're powdering up his gallbladder there. Oh yeah, he was the best. No, I'm not going to say that.
Super good at horseshoes. Won the neighborhood horseshoes.
Won the neighborhood horseshoes competition every year.
He's got trophies. I mean, I just like the idea also of that means there's just some like a gallbladder harvesting market.
Well, just also think about what you could get. Like if you're on the back end of your career, you get some money for your gallbladder if you need it.
You pay somebody reserves your gallbladder. Oh man.
Koshin of Confusion from Munchkin is a good pull there. Yeah. Olfactor, basic sensory effects are not uncommon with alchemy, but this smell has been cranked to 11. This mixture is odorless. This mixture is odorless when made, but I gotta go back through and edit. But when this powder is ingested or burnt, it unleashes an aroma which lingers for 5 days. The Galwakis, I don't know how to pronounce it, is an actual cryptid that I discovered. Basically, if you want to cut up its body, it's good for a lot of stuff. Enlarged senses. So this basically can enhance any one sense, but it causes the sensory organ to swell in size. And so your eyes either become like saucers, or your ears become like small wings. Your tongue becomes long and thick. Skin sags. Nose becomes beak-like. You could enhance other senses, but you look weird. There's a lot of weird body horror stuff in the way that we've done
fun.
this.
Yeah, we've accidentally done.
Yeah, no, it was an accident.
Sneaking into the repugnant.
Yeah.
Sphere.
Your speed doubles. You emit a thick snail-like slime on your skin that leaves a trail. This actually increases your initiative also too. You gotta have a little cannibalistic homeopathy. I may need to put a dash in this one. Clara relevance. Dissolve an object into this mixture.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
This was a good one. Dissolve an object into this mixture and consume it to learn what it is in its recent 3d6 days history. You experience all of this from the object's perspective. Also, the object is now gone.
From the
Um,
object's perspective, you added to what we had talked about, and that's
yeah,
just makes it absolutely a Tom Robbins, like, magical realism weirdness.
yeah.
It's like
Like if this, it may have just like if it's a coin, it may just have been jingling around in somebody's
in
pocket for the
somebody's
last.
pocket, and you just experience that and, like, hear what it heard for,
Yeah.
like, 5 days. It's bonkers.
And then
Yeah,
it's like gets taken out, spent, goes into a cash register, and then you know, like
yeah.
whatever.
Where it's like a
Um,
burnt match, and you just hear, like, "Ah! Ah!" Just
it just also makes it like you've got to think, okay, what, like if I'm going to pull something off this guy we just killed to learn about where he's been up to, what do I want to melt into this
Yep.
thing that I then am consuming?
Yeah, what was looking his eyeglasses would probably be really great.
Right. Um,
Underwear, not so much.
Strength swells your muscles and frame, granting the user strength 5, which reduces by 1 every time you exert yourself. While under the effects of this potion, you are hard to understand due to swollen vocal cords. I really just wanted to make it turn people into Arnold Schwarzenegger with no
Nice.
whatevers.
I mean, even Lou Ferrigno for sure.
Or yeah, or Frigno. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I gave the special ingredient is Hyperborean whey. Uh, and so, and big and doubles the size, weight for living creatures, stamina of an object, adds 2 strength, lasts for 1 hour. This also definitely must be applied separately to clothing and items. It's the Gamma Gardenia is the special. This is definitely meant to be a Hulk,
Mhm.
a Hulk
Yeah.
move. Diminish reduces you to 1/10 of the size, which I put blood of a Lilliput,
Lilliput? Lilliput?
which I
Lilliput?
realized also that definitely means you have to kill a Lilliput
Sure. I mean, I do love
to
that,
do
like,
this.
there's this, like, again, that the, like, Regent Harvester, I do like the idea of us making another character that is, like, way darker version of that.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
a like somebody who's,
The
like
backdoor Regent Harvester, like
yeah,
the
all yes.
the unspeakable reagent
Yeah,
harvester.
yes. Have you seen, oh god, Repo, the genetic opera?
I have never watched it, but I am very familiar with it.
Anthony Stewart Head walking around just like, yeah, just like being
Yeah.
like, "Oh, are you sick? Let me rip out that's a nice trophy. Let me rip out your gallbladder and sell it."
Yeah. See-through subject becomes organic crystal, almost perfectly invisible. Light reflects through with mild disruption. If you just want to go back through and edit stuff, that'd be.
So it's what we're here doing.
If dirt, oh no, just should be the start. Dirt, clothes, or a bucket of paint all diminish this effect.
It's just the Daffy Duck defense
Yeah,
to this
it lasts
potion.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite. There's also a secret hack around this also too. The subject's abs and the chiseled abs, the subject's abs and the rest of their body turn into solid marble that looks like it's been chiseled by a master sculptor. You gain muscular tone and +2 strength, +4 rock empathy, and 66 stamina for the next 2 weeks. You do not need sustenance, but you are solid rock and cannot move or speak.
Oh, you're Gorgon Venom too. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, like you literally just become a statue of
A
yourself.
statue.
Yeah. Now there is an object sentience potion that
So
could
you
be
could-
combined with this in some really funny shenanigan ways.
Yeah. I
Or
also just think you could, I mean, maybe you just like, you could keep it as a last ditch effort for like if you're starving to death or something too. There's all sorts of fun stuff
or
to do
people
with
are
that.
coming at you and you know you can't beat
Yeah.
them. You've also got rock empathy for that period of time, so you can talk to
Yes,
all the rocks
just
around
like
you.
hang out with the mountain. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
And so gravity slip, because we went with more like a these all affect the user function. And
Yeah.
so gravity slip is the subject is obscured from the divine forces that control gravity, and for 20 minutes they float in weightless bliss. This works for any subject up to 1,500 pounds, but it is very difficult to navigate the world this way. Use with caution. Like essentially, you become detached from gravity. You know, like
Yes.
but I also like the idea that it's like whatever God controls gravity in this universe, he just can't see you right now. And that is what you've done. Form of water. Oh, this one is a little, this one heavy body horror here. Organic bodies are mostly water. This just takes care of the rest. The subject quickly expels all water into a new body, leaving behind a small pile of dehydrated biomatter.
Ugh.
Cohesion can be maintained for about a day before the biomass and water must be rejoined. During that time, you have all the advantages of being made out of water. And so, you know,
Yeah.
go for it. Just make sure you
Alec
get back
Mac
to your
potion.
body. Post vital. Okay, so there's posthumous vitality is a spell. It's how necromancers raise zombies. So this is post vitality humors.
Nice.
An incredibly versatile but hard to find mixture. When the spell posthumanous vitality is cast on a deceased subject treated with this potion, they may roll an additional d6 and add it to the result. It basically guarantees you're going to get something like 4 to 12 on a roll for raising somebody from the dead is always a failure. You got to get over 12 to get any, like to get a dumb bad zombie.
Sure.
And you got to get over
That's
17
fair.
to get a good zombie. So this just basically means you'll probably succeed. But when a living subject is treated with this spell, they will die in 1d6 minutes, but there's a 50% chance they return as a free zombie, which also means one of the backgrounds we should add is free zombie. Like,
For sure.
yeah. During their last minutes, they may operate with less than 0 stamina. It takes a month to brew. It costs you an SP in the grave shroud of true nobility. Of a true member of nobility.
I don't know, dude. I kind of liked it. I mean, if we leave Shroud of True Nobility,
Sure.
that's
Got to
that
figure out
leaves-
what that
that
is. I mean,
leaves
those
a
are all
whole lot up
flavor,
to-
right?
Yep,
Yeah. So,
yep, totally.
but this is where we started getting into like these take actual time because otherwise, like you're
Yeah.
just gonna have an army of free zombies.
You go grind.
Yeah.
You go sit somewhere.
A free year. Also check out the, like, so far we've got highest is like 18 form of water. Posthumous vitality is 48. This one is 730 skill.
This is your
value.
fucking troll potion.
Yeah, this delicate mixture takes a long time to brew. It's massively expensive to produce and has hard to procure ingredients. It's also constantly in demand because it reduces the subject's physical age by a year. Takes a year to brew. It cost 1,000 silver pieces for the ingredients, and you need the food of the gods in order to brew it.
Yeah, you're gonna need a warehouse or something to make this worth anybody's while.
So those are all my first passes. This is me coming back again, so I actually need to move a bunch of stuff around, and I'm trying to decide if we need to make it alphabetical or by value. Like, alphabetical is slightly easier to navigate, but for me, if I'm building a character, I kind of want to do it by like value.
I like by value.
Yeah.
Just also so they get more and more absurd as you
Right.
get down.
Right.
Get that basic, get them glue spells up at the front.
Right. So, antidote: among the first mixtures that a cautious chemist learns, this mixture neutralizes common poisons and dramatically reduces the efficacy of a chemical. This should be of an
An alchemical mixture.
Yeah. In effect on the subject. Basically say like, yeah, take this if something horrible is happening. Luminescence, basically it's a shake light that lasts for like a month. And for like, you know, you can shake it and get light. Brittling reduces the molecular cohesion of an inanimate object in a 3-foot cubic area, making it easier to snap, shatter, or break. This changes the fundamental properties of matter in a surprising way. Elemental protection, need to be waterproof, needs skin like asbestos, walk through a storm of lightning, gives you +2 elemental protection for an hour. Flash, it's flashbang grenade. Works like the flash spell. Alkahest, so this is actually, I realized we need it. So it's the universal solvent. This potion will quickly dissolve all substances to their base alchemical ingredients except one, which is set at the time where it's brewed. So basically, like solving the how did you store the thing that eats through everything, you know, potion problem.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
So
yes.
you basically say it doesn't eat through leather, or it doesn't eat through glass, or it doesn't
Yep.
eat through metal or whatever. It doesn't eat through my stomach, you know, like if you're brewing it inside yourself.
Absolutely.
If you are if you're late to joining us, we do have a character in here that can just eat the alchemical ingredients and then piss or bleed or sweat or snot them out later on. I
Cry,
can't wait to cry. You decide how you want to release it.
milk,
Um, um,
jizz.
this potion will dissolve all substances to their base alchemical ingredients except for one. Small amounts can be safely used to quickly eliminate external alchemical effects, like glue. Large amounts can quickly dissolve a human body. Splinter slashing alchemist on something will cause damage. This is also the most swingy damage roll in the entire Troika world right now.
Yeah,
So the highest HP you would start the game with is 24. Um,
and it
and
just burn you.
this will, yeah. So basically, if you roll high on this, the likelihood it will kill you if you roll a 5 or higher is pretty existent. Um, Boom Boom Juice. I actually need to come back and write something for. I was really excited about it, but apparently didn't
I
really want to write it.
honestly, I think you've pretty much got it. I mean, primarily used in demolition and controlled research. This potion is highly regular.
Oh yeah, I gotta basically say like I gotta figure out if I want to add damage to it or not. Like
highly regulated.
basically
Yeah,
it's
some sort of
essentially
proximity
C4.
damage. Yeah, yeah, proximity damage or something, or
Yeah. I think you just say it's within like a 20-foot or 20-yard radius or whatever.
yep.
Purple juice, which this is why I want to move them all up. Like I think I want to make them by value. Often called alchemist wine because you have to regularly ingest chemicals, get mutated by mixtures, and deal with academic rigor. You might as well not know. This mixture functions as the spell Purple Lens for 2 hours. Food tastes amazing, everything is beautiful, and life is more enjoyable. It's also an intoxicant.
Clearly.
Just very cheap, 2 SP and grapes from the Academy Vineyard. But just the concept, like I love the idea that the lunch lady at the Academy of Divine Sublimation just like makes
Just
the
whacked
worst.
out on it.
Well, no, but also just like doesn't even like it's the food is just slop because
Yeah,
but there's just a giant vat of this in the corner
that's
and
awesome.
it's like
Yeah,
go like the food's horrible. Go
yeah. Who
drink
cares?
that first
Yeah.
and then get in line. like this is just everybody at the academy is just like
Yeah.
on this the
No,
entire
you
time.
can just eat your like protein slurry
Right.
and keep learning how to make weird
Right.
stuff.
And
I love
so
that.
um
This also
uh
sets alchemists way apart from like chefs. And like that the like I like the idea of them being super into chemistry, but not into not into actually making things better, making things seem better.
yeah,
That's fun.
like I do love the idea of going back and creating members of the academy staff. And it's like you're the academy cook and like your best skill is still like poison resistance and or alchemy, and cooking you've got a 1 in.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
the person who learned how to not burn things
Yeah.
and mix basic food matter together.
Yeah, you're
Um,
putting like mashed potato powder and water together. You're doing food alchemy
right.
essentially.
Yeah. And so object sentience, bring an inanimate object to life, allowing it to move, act, and navigate under the world underneath the guidance of who do we want to give them under the it says of an individual, which is not
What underneath it? Oh, bring it to
do we want to I don't think it needs to be limited to the brewer.
well, it should be the controller because the
Yeah,
controller's
but
got to drink a little bit of it
you the
too.
controller? Oh,
I mean,
I said that in the next line. Never mind, I'm very
yeah,
smart.
it's right there. Yeah.
Controller. The controller must drink a small amount of the potion as well. One dose can animate an object up to the size of a small child. Multiple doses can be
Yeah,
applied.
it's alchemical like remote control cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to like hey, you've got to like make the chemical bond.
Right.
What's the Kilgrave?
But
Right.
also
Yeah.
theoretically, if you if you give your friend a chiseled abs potion, you could then give them like
Yes.
5 of these potions, and they could walk around as a stone statue for 2 weeks. But they would also have to do whatever you said.
Right. You'd be in control of them.
Now you could theoretically just give them all of the potion probably, and let them have control.
Yeah. Or there's a fun thing where like, yeah, you have to like control them to drink it, and then yeah, I guess if you drink all of it, are you just super in control of yourself? If you're an inanimate object.
I feel like you can't drink it all. But I feel like if you if you gave the object all of it, like if you poured all of it over the object, right?
Yeah.
Then the object would be out of your control,
Right.
right? And
It would be
so
controlling itself. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
So I
I
like the
think there
idea of
should
people
be
like
it should be
drinking this and
brewed
also not thinking about drinking the last little bit. Like you didn't say you drank the last little bit. And so now the thing's just freaking out on you.
yeah, yeah, or you just, like, you had a bad hand, so you pour it, right? And then you drink a little bit of it. Is that the deal?
Yeah.
You, like, dump it, yeah, so if you have to make some sort of, like there's, like, a check when you're pouring it to make sure that there's enough left.
Right. Or like if you like rolled on the oops table and you were making this and you boxcard it and you spilled it on your clothes, like you wouldn't be the controller, but your
No.
clothes would be sentient for the next however, like day
Yep.
or whatever.
I love
Um
that.
anyways, ectoplasmic deconstruction. This mixture disrupts the ectoplasmic matrix of any spiritual being or structure. I think that meant to be spectral.
Yeah.
Or structure, but it is harmless to most corporeal entities. This destroys any ghost and harms most non-corporeal entities. It also leaves behind a valuable substance known as edion. Oh, I didn't look up how to pronounce it.
Eidolon?
Eidolon dust, which I
Is
don't
that a
define
real thing?
anywhere what Eidolon dust is. So we'll figure that out later.
Fun.
Um,
Again, this is, like gives us this, like, hunter person
right.
who's just, like, murdering ghosts and harvesting stuff. I mean, that can be the Regent Harvester too.
Yeah. Helping hands. An additional pair of arms spring from your body normally on your torso that grants you assistance to your current task. +2 to skill or allow you to complete 2 tasks at the same times.
But not always.
In combat, this will allow you. This also allows you to make add an additional marker to the stack. They work for 1 hour before the body painfully rejects them.
Ugh.
So 14 SP, Larian Spider Brain. Gills. Per the gill spell, this basically gives you gills, and it lasts until you drink another gill potion. Which essentially also means if you have a guild creature that you want it to come on land, you can give it a gill potion and it'll give it normal lugs.
Awesome.
Animal bits. It's originally animal parts, but I changed it to bits apparently earlier. A single body part transforms into a corresponding animal's body part. The base potion is the same for every animal. You need a tiny piece of the animal part desired to activate it. This grants all the advantages and disadvantages of having that part. It lasts for 12 hours before reverting back to normal.
Awesome.
Animal form, you're a creature of your choosing for 1 day. This is the base potion for all animals, but requires a pound of the desired animal to activate. The creature will be the same approximate size as the subject's normal body. This grants all the advantages and disadvantages of being that animal. The subject starts with full faculties, but over the course of 24 hours will become more and more animalistic. It takes a full week to fully recover from this after consuming. They will not act counter to their normal desires, but they will act like an animal who wants those things. Which I love the idea of like, yeah, you want to be a panther? That's great. But also like 20 hours in, you're going to be panther. Like
That's big Ursula K. Le Guin magic stuff. Yeah. The form takes you over. Yeah.
So we're almost at the end of this list. Peace, anxiety disappears, anger is erased, even sorrow can be chased away. Often used by those dealing with trauma, it can become very addictive. If abused, while in this state, you are slightly slow to react, -1 to skill, but you are perturbed by situations beyond your control. And then fear. Instead of just making it you're afraid, I made it immediately trigger flight or fight response. Which
great.
I love the idea. Instead of it being like they just run away, it's like they may run away, or they may see you as a horribly terrifying thing and attack you right away because
yeah.
That's
great. Just comes at you with scared strength.
Yeah. We had the last one. We got this poison ivy down here that never made it in anywhere. We've got potion of anchoring.
What about we were talking about an alchemical, like a potion that like did basically what's the spell? What's the Zed spell? Is it Zed or
the equivalent of Zed, but I don't know what that would be so far.
And we were sort of saying that like that maybe it was like something that just actually reorients reality or something, or like I don't know, the person is turned inside out, or they like I mean just a potion that just makes somebody disappear into a just poof away, and we
I mean,
don't
that would be
quite
fun
know.
also too. We could also just call it Zed, but with an X instead.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. XED.
Yeah.
And then and it's a thing where they there's a flash and an odor. There's like a lot, a flash and an odor and a sound and a little bit of mist, and then they're gone. Right? So we get all these sort of alchemical stimulus, and then they're gone, and nobody really quite knows what happens to them or it.
I like it.
So you could throw it at a door. Like it would be a helpful thing to just like make a door go bye bye.
That's
But
true.
also you could, if somebody drinks it, later.
Awesome. All right. Well, that takes us up to 66. We've got a couple
Boom.
other ones too. We'll probably end up with a few more in some way, shape, or form, whether we do another table or whether we just hold on to that. So, but what we're here to do today, after the 50 minutes we spent just reading
Eh,
through that stuff. Thanks
you
for sticking
gotta
with
you
us.
gotta edit.
We are gonna make some more backgrounds.
Sweet.
All right, so things we already have. We already have. So this will be. I got to go back up because these are going to become.
Where are we going in the document here?
Right at the bottom of all the other.
All right. Other backgrounds.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I'm actually switching it to. So it's now 11 instead of 1, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and we've got 21 for the next background. So we've got overly bearded alchemist, who we already talked about a little bit. And we have art for, so we're gonna go ahead and do. Big beard, can pull.
Yes, this is the person who's growing and storing things in there.
Beard, and can create a balanced biome of growth in their facial.
Can you multi-class in Troika? Because this person in the homebrewer would be the ultimate dorm bro. Maybe they're roommates.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I think there's some overlap here, right? Like for
sure.
But I do see them as more of a because who did we talk about? They're the Radagast, right? Like they're way more like that's their touchstone, Radagast. As a touchstone. If you're still watching, if you're one of the 3 people out there still chilling, and you've got an idea about types of people you would want to see in an alchemy supplement, specifically those you might find at an academy for alchemy, hit them up below, and we'd love to hear from you. So we've also got overly bearded alchemists. Somebody brought this up in the chat. Was like the person who runs like the school store.
That's fun.
Like I love the idea that they're primarily like they sell swag, like academic swag, but also have horribly caustic chemicals and other stuff you can pick up for class.
Word. So like the entrepreneur's not quite there. The like. Oh God, what's the word I want for shopkeeper? Purveyor.
Merchant.
Merchant. Yeah, merchant. I was thinking more. Like purveyor, more of the like flavor of what I like you're up to something. Like the like a merchant seems.
Purveyor of fine alchemical supplies.
Yeah. PFAS. Yeah, but
the campus,
the shrewd purveyor or something like that. Almost the opposite of the home brewer. Somebody who's you're gonna have your skills are going to be acquiring and selling at a profit. maybe something about knowing who should get like some shrewdness in like there's like like goddamn I hate that TikTok's so right about my generation only having the one reference. But I'm gonna say Ollivander here, right? Where there's the thing where it's like, yeah, I know what you need. I can tell what you need and what you like. So there's a little bit of an oracular purveyor. Um so that there's like some mysticism to them gifting you your supplies.
Like they give you, they like, and the question is, do they actually always know, or do
Yeah,
they
or are they
just,
making it up?
or
Yeah.
they're just like, oh yeah, this thing I've been trying to get rid of for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, you definitely,
Yes.
you need
Yes.
one of those, right?
Yes, it's the like there's the like the selling the special, right? And at the restaurant, the waiter that sells the special in it. Yeah.
What's your favorite thing on the menu? Oh, whatever the special is tonight,
Yep,
sir.
exactly. You should try the fish.
By the way,
Mm.
I fried some fish tonight. You know, tilapia, like as much as it gets a lot of like crap because it basically took over as like the cheap fish of choice, it's actually super easy to work with.
That's why it took over as the cheap
Right.
fish of
It's not just
choice.
that it's inexpensive. It's easy to grow. It's also just like it keeps well. It's got a really
It's not a pain
mild.
in the ass
I
to
mean, it's a
cook.
white fish, right?
Trout falls right the hell apart, man.
That's the thing.
Bass,
It's got such a good texture.
and it doesn't taste like bass has got real fishy taste,
Yeah.
sea or otherwise.
Runs the campus store always knows what you need, and it's almost always on
Yeah,
sale.
on sale. There you go. Yeah.
Knows what uh, uh,
I'd say this is gonna be one of these, like, the opposite of the dickhead in his tower too, like, this guy's got it all in his head, or lady, or whoever. Um,
like they have some level of encyclopedic knowledge.
yeah, I want there to be some sort of, like, yeah, like, we should throw that in a skill, like, there's gonna be a skill of, like, encyclopedic alchemy knowledge.
Sure. Um, cool. So let's see, 23. We talked about the butcher.
Yeah, I love this character, I this is our boy Gary,
Did we
right, who's
like?
gonna
I mean,
play
I'm
gonna be
also
the butcher.
fine with that name that person put out, which is
The
horribly disturbing.
Glansman?
The
The
Glansman.
Glandsmith? Yeah.
The Glansman. Uh, it's so bothersome.
But
Like,
I love how specific it is that, like, your specialty is, like, not only the butchering, but also knowing what animals have, like, a gland that makes something special. So you're gonna go after werewolves because that there's a chemical in their blood that is making them do that. You're gonna hunt the gorgon and the because you yeah, butchering of fresh recovery of biochemical, yes.
of
As opposed to, the regent harvester who may be, you know, getting clams and coral and
yeah.
flowers and
I actually
whatnot.
do like the idea of like maybe a botany like somebody who's gone all in on botany a little bit more so,
Yes,
but
the
also
opposite
too,
of
but
this
yeah,
person. Yeah.
um, in the recovery of meaty biochemicals, you know exactly what the body of a cryptid does, and
I
exactly
mean, this is where those mermaid scales are coming from, and I like the
how.
idea. I kind of like the idea that it's this person usually is. I mean, or that can be your question at the end is like, how are you procuring these things?
Oh
Are
yeah,
you someone who's just like, are you hunting? Are you murdering? Or are you like, very respectful?
yeah. Because I also like the idea that like because there's I mean, like Drake is science fantasy, so like there are rare ingredients, but the reality is like yeah, but also you could mix these other 6 things together to get that. It just happens that this one swamp creature's body does all the work for you.
Yep.
So like yeah, go cut out its mucus sac.
Yeah.
and
Or
bring
yeah,
that
I mean,
back.
I like the idea of him understanding that like this swamp creature has got a potion that it makes. And that's like also like we've cause since we've already like dealt with the fact that like internal alchemy happens and that you can like take classes in internal alchemy, that like this could be a person who goes and finds animals that like that are doing that in nature, right? A dragon can make the fire because you ever see Flight of Dragons? Is the only time I've ever seen a book or a movie like get into how a dragon breathes fire. And it's that they have to like eat rocks to make sparks in their bellies, and then they had to eat um a certain mix of like grass and stuff so that they could breathe like flammable material. And
Right.
they had to like the dragons were breathing fire through like a chemical process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's either one of two things: either dragons can magically shoot fire out of their mouths, at which
Right.
point, why is it only out of their mouths? Like, why
Sure,
can't they
yeah.
just shoot fire?
Yeah.
And then the other question is, but if it's out of their mouths and it is bio, like in my mind, I guess I always assume dragons have some sort of, even if magic is a part of the process, that they have some sort of biochemical something that's causing them
Science we don't
to.
understand yet, right? Magic.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, totally, yeah. Like, but I like that this person understands that, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna like werewolves all have a potion in them that makes them do that, and
Right.
now I have it because I'm
Like if I want to, like,
doing alchemy. I
if,
just got it.
yeah, if I'm brewing like like a animal transformation potion, like
Yep.
I can mix all this stuff together, but also like I could just go take a werewolf's, like,
Wear gland.
were
Yeah,
gland and his hypothalamus. Wait, no, that's a brain part. Um his
yeah,
hypothyroid condition.
yeah. It's definitely a thyroid
Yeah.
condition. Yeah.
He's like, I could just take his thyroids and be done with it.
I also like the
Um
idea that like your internal alchemist also can understand how to like turn anybody into a wear anything because they understand how to make your thyroid turn you into a were turtle.
Right. Like I like the idea of if that person learned like animal form, that they are
Mhm.
basically just, and they can't do it quickly. That's the best part. Is like, no, I'm going to eat this bat now. Why? Well, cuz tomorrow I'd like to be able to turn into a bat.
When the full moon comes out, there's the astronomy of it all.
Right.
Is you have to, yeah,
And so how are you procuring
absurd.
these things? Let's see. The Glandsman, shrewd purveyor of fine alchemical supplies. Um
Oh, we had another one that we suggested
oh, the
earlier.
cook.
Yeah, the cook. Yeah, alchemical chef. Top, just called the top chef.
Which also fits
Um,
in because of all of our brew ball and like the perfect pinch competition and all that kind of
mhm.
stuff. Because there's a couple folks who have gastronomy as a
That's
skill.
right. You're right.
Um, and so, which I do like the idea that overwhelmingly people just don't care and they're just like drunk on purple juice the entire
Purple
time.
juice.
Um,
Yeah, right. Well, that also makes that like the like guess. I mean, like gastronomy is not just feeding people,
right.
right? You're being
It's the
snooty about it.
differentiation between like I know what good food is and
Yeah,
like I know that I need food. Um,
right.
let's
Um,
see. Academy chef.
I mean, this person could also like they could. We haven't made like a healer, and this could be so like not a healer but a nourisher, where like you specialize in not necessarily tasty but very nourishing.
I actually kind
I
of
mean,
like the fact that this could even be somebody who is a professional chef, like that they are excellent at it. But that all the academy gives them is like, yeah, we bought ground chuck and salt,
yep, here you go.
and that's what
Do
we have
something
this
with it.
semester. And they're like, oh, okay.
We bought so much meat.
Um, or it's just whatever the Glandsman brings back
Ugh,
that day. It's just like that's what goes on the menu.
yep. You
Um,
get the rest of the. He takes the
oh
glands. You
god,
take the wolf.
it's the regent harvester of the Glandsman. Whatever they bring back is just what
Yes, a
the
lot of hot dogs getting made at the school.
alchemical hot dog.
Alchemical gross
Ugh.
sausages.
Our viewer count just plummeted when I said the words alchemical hot dog.
Yep.
Um,
Alchemical Hot Dog, new band name, called it.
all right, so there are a couple other ones that we kind of had talked around and about. I'm trying to avoid too many Harry Potter trips, and I feel like we've done a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
successful
yeah,
job
yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
We can go other ways. There are other books about wizards. Um,
we could also just make a reference to The Alchemist.
one that's you're just like, um, yeah. I always conflate The Alchemist with The Secret, and I know that they're not the same.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of people who are really into The Alchemist got really into The Secret also too. Like
Sure.
that's why you feel that way. Like
Yes.
both are books you
Also, the
read at
covers
points in
look
your
the same.
life. Yeah, they're both
They
books
use
you
the
read at
same
points in
font
your
for a
life.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you feel lost in the world and you feel like you need to reassert control of your life, you're going to either read one of three books: the Bible, The Secret, or The Alchemist. One of
For the
those three
Four
books.
Agreements. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Or Academy of Divine Sublimation coming soon too. Um, um, all right, Academy Chef I feel like is good and not hard. Let's see. We got two more we want to
The
get.
Klansman War's like a groundskeeper guy. Okay, we've got like Indiana Jones. We've got like what about okay. We've got the duelist. I mean, what about somebody okay, what about like a how do we get like a Johnny Cage in here? How do we get like a
Tell me
right?
more about what you mean.
Or like a Gilderoy Lockhart. Like how do we get there's
Yes.
like a
The
flashy
the actual
snake oil salesman.
snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Um
Um um what if it's just like the potions master with a question mark, where it's like we're you have like so much showmanship and so much bravado and deception, but like nobody's really sure if you're actually making anything or not.
I like that. We want to use the term master for that though, even with the question mark, the potion.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like
Um
there's like a politician, like a potiontician that doesn't work though.
potiontician.
Um
Um
the um you like the legacy. Like you got in just based on like you know
I
nothing about
kind of
alchemy.
love that. The legacy, that's it. It's the you're the legacy and like you come from great alchemists. You've spent your life around great alchemists. You are not necessarily a great alchemist, but boy do you know how to act like one. Um you've got a story about about being able to brew anything. You the phrase well actually or my uncle told me are how you begin all your stories. Douchebag. Uh,
Starts all always
yeah.
always has a story.
Yep.
All stories start uh with well actually or what else?
Uh, actually, or well, my uncle always said. Right. Just oh man. Um. Oh man, and his possessions are gonna be like, you know, this guy should have a silver spoon, quite literally. As well. All
I'm
like
down with it.
heirloomed potion bottles. Um, a sweet ride. I don't know what that means in this world, but he's got a sweet ride.
Um,
Um, and I'd say honestly, one of his possessions should be your reputation, your family's reputation. Like you have that. Yeah, maybe you have a way to prove it. somehow in the world, like a ring or a signet or something.
I love like hey, you ready? You get everything set upstairs? Okay, well that's not what I asked you. Is everything ready upstairs? Do you have the chair out? Do you have a towel down? Do you have whatever clothes you're going to be wearing? It's all live for everybody to consume. Did you get out the? Did you get out the trippers? I'm trimming some hair tonight.
The audience and I want to know what's going. Oh, okay.
Yeah, did you prepare the kill room properly?
You harvesting some glands over
Harvesting,
there?
I'm gonna be the glandsman. And then we need the trim. Take the broom and the dustpan upstairs. We need the clippers and the scissors also too. All right.
Oh, what's the last one? Okay, we got legacy.
Appearance. I like parents' old notes. Like that's like the
Yes.
way that you skate by is like
Absolutely.
uh,
Oh man, and then we could also flip that and have like the prodigy.
okay.
Um,
Um,
maybe I mean, like you're just, I don't know, reduced learning time or brewing time, or like you just get it. Chemicals seem to talk to you. Um,
I even like giving them maybe like a roll table that's just like your shit's always better. Like
yeah,
the home brewer has the one where it's kind of hit or miss, and this one's like, no, like you found a shortcut. Like this took
yeah.
like this you didn't have to spend the value on this
Oh,
to
I
make
love
it.
that.
Like
That like
or like, but I mean like it can be random. Like whenever they make a potion, it's like you're gonna get some random benefit this time.
a buff table basically, but
Yeah.
then there's like you can beef that too because of cockiness. Um, so like a buff table, but one of them it's real bad. So when things go wrong for you, they go massively wrong, and you don't react well to that. Your life has been nothing but gold stars. How do you deal with failure is probably going to be the big question at the end of this one.
Oh, do we want their life to have been nothing but gold stars? That feels more legacy.
You're right. That does feel more legacy, unearned gold stars. So it's like maybe you're just been discovered. Your abilities have sort of been recently uncovered. These are like abilities that you always knew you had, right? Like you've just
Yeah.
been doing alchemy casually.
Like you like you were reading by the time you were one and you mixed your first potion when you were three. Like
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um
you made like at 3 you made the dankest bubble bath. You just did it.
you're like I can make my own bubbles.
Yeah,
And
figured
so
it out. You combine some soap with some werewolf gland serum or whatever, and you are talking to your bubbles.
you're really into mixing werewolf glands into
I don't
things
know,
tonight.
something about this werewolf gland. Like something about that the idea that like that was a chemical thing and not like a curse really resonated with me as soon as we said it. That
Well,
like
I'm gonna say this, just because it's a curse doesn't mean it's not also a chemical thing.
100%.
And so that curse is doing something to your body.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, I gotta go cut a teenager's hair because
Okay.
that's gonna go real dang good.
We did it. We got our 6 down and
Um,
we can build these out.
yeah. And then we ended up we finished out the spell titles. If you want to do a pass through, fill some of that stuff out. I'll pop back in later on this
Absolutely.
week and do that. I mean, even when we're done, we'll do some actual plays. We'll pop it out for people to be able to check out and give us feedback. We'll have some time for the art to be done. Like it's not gonna get a print or anything till this summer.
Hey, if you're watching this and you want to be guaranteed a game with me and Tony, it only costs 100 American dollars. Hit, hit
$100.
us up.
If you're still here, an hour and 14 minutes in.
Drew.
Now
Give
we
us
also did just read almost the entire thing out loud, also too.
Yeah,
And
I guess
so
at this point you could just
you
steal the game,
fast
you
forward,
bastard.
back
Yeah.
and forth through this. Um, Yeah, we'll do some regent stuff. We'll do some a little bit
Did
more
you
with
just
field alchemy and alt forms of alchemy.
I love the idea of somebody stealing it, but not having the, like, wherewithal to transcribe it, and so
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
could just go back and listen to us explain the rules over and over.
Oh, did you read the other failure table?
Yeah.
It essentially just slowly like I liked the idea that like you're just slowly getting mutated as
Yeah,
a
it's
as an
awesome.
alchemist.
And,
And
like, that
so
it just is going to happen.
yeah.
That, like my
Um
chemistry teacher in high school quit because that's what was happening to her. She was like, I could feel myself like, she was working in a lab, and she was just like, "I'm just being exposed to stuff constantly." I'm like, "Nah, no,
yeah.
thank you."
Yeah, one you become a pool of liquid for 12 hours, the color of one eye shifts. You become botanically contaminated, skin turns green plus one plant empathy. Small vestigial chicken wings appear on your back. It's super effective. The effects of the potion are doubled in the most unpleasant way. Fur you spout soft downy fur. Scales appear all over your body. Counts as poorly armored. Must be moisturized or they dry out and fall off. Your nose melts off your face. An additional fully functional mouth appears on your body.
Just like your eyes fall out, but then you get night owl eyes.
Right.
Nice.
I may change one of those eye things to something else. I feel like we're probably missing something. Oh,
Yeah, I can get in here and
your skin turns gray and takes on the appearance of death. A worm crawls up through your throat and out of your mouth, and it's emotionally attached to you and follows you around. I love the idea that like if you
it's
don't
just
kill it,
it's a musical number in a Tim Burton
yeah,
animated movie.
yeah, and if you don't kill it, it actually just likes you and wants
Yeah,
to
it's your
hang out.
buddy.
And so mixture works as normal, but also as if you would consume purple juice.
Hell yeah.
A toxic reaction is triggered. Test your luck. If successful, you gain +1 Mithridism. If not, you take 1d6 +2 poison damage.
Yee.
Everything seems to work normally for about 10 minutes, and then time resets back to that moment, repeated until you have an epiphany, gain an advanced
Damn.
skill.
That's my favorite one, I think, so far. But I've been watching a lot of Midnight Gospel lately.
I just like the idea that you've got to stop whatever your session is and watch that person play. Replay through 10 minutes until they learn a lesson
Until
about
they
life.
get it.
And so, which is actually like it's just a good thing, right? Like it's not a bad thing at all. But you just
But
got to
also,
name like
that's a beautiful like game master thing too, where like if that happens, you can just like every 10 minutes, you just go, okay, you guys are back here.
yeah, and they don't
So
necessarily
you just
know
let them keep
'cause it's
playing
not
for
yeah
10
yeah yeah
minutes
yeah.
and they
And
have
so
no idea what's going
you're
on.
like, all right,
And
this
you get to
time
set the
we're gonna
epiphany.
go this way instead, and then
Awesome. Yeah.
uh,
Watch them just try and like figure it out. Yeah. Until somebody just sits down and goes, I give up or whatever. Yeah. God,
yeah.
that'd be fun.
You stop and be like, "Did you guys learn anything from tonight's session?" When one of them's just like, "Yeah, you're a fucking evil game master." You can be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
epiphany!
Epiphany.
You gained +1 detect evil as an
Yeah.
advanced skill. It's and time moves forward this time around." The best thing is then
Beautiful.
later on you can throw in an actual time loop mechanic, and they'll just be like, "Did we just
They'll
drink
think it's
another
that.
bad potion?"
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like,
They'll
"No."
think,
And so
nope.
this one's something else, and so.
Hmm.
But yeah. But yeah, we could easily ramp either of these up, and then you and I need to think a little bit more about the world of the school at some point in time. But
Hmm.
like we can also
For
do
sure.
that just in adventures with people when we play a little bit more. Um,
Yeah.
I think playing through a little bit of finals with some people, playing through the brawl, the brew bowl.
The brew bowl would be
Um,
fun.
you
I'd
know,
like the cooking competition would be fun.
yeah.
Um, yeah, again, I'm specifically gonna think of ways to make it less like Harry Potter. That's my goal.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is
like
we need to end up with like 6 backgrounds that are definitely like you're a student at the school, and 6 backgrounds that are like you're staff or faculty
or yeah, or
of
like
some
around.
sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, even taking the Glandsmen and making them a student,
Sure.
like where
The weird goth kid, man, that just was like, I just want to cut stuff up. There was always the kid at school that just
right,
had
he
a
was just
lighter.
really into like
Had a
the
knife and a lighter, and he like didn't
or
smoke
she or
cigarettes.
they.
They.
Yeah. But
One.
also like they are really good at all the dissection stuff, but also creepily so, right?
Yeah,
Like very
totally.
like
The kid in the back of biology class that only perked up when the frogs came out. Yeah.
yeah, which is really funny. I was the kid. Like I had a partner, and the agreement with my partner was they didn't have to cut anything open, stick pins in anything, or do any labeling, but they would write everything up as long as I would do that. I was like sold. Like I will
Absolutely.
100%. I will 100% mutilate this flesh.
I got so deep into the we had fetal pigs. Did you have to do a
We did do
pig?
fetal pigs. Yeah.
I wanted to see that brain, man, and my teacher was like, "You don't have to." I was like, "No, I'm gonna see this brain."
No, we're gonna do it. So,
We got in there. I was like, "I need a
yeah,
skull saw."
I know worms, frogs, fetal pig. I feel like there was a fourth one, but I don't remember what it was.
Cow eyeball.
Oh, cow eyeball for sure.
We did a cow eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you were learning how to cut stuff open with a cow eyeball,
Yeah.
and so
Well, and also it was a weird thing where like you had this moment where you like, I mean, for me, I like punctured it and it just went like where I just realized that like all in one fell swoop, the like fragility of my stupid meat body hit me
yeah.
like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh god, are my eyeballs are just fluid bags and a cornea? Ugh.
Ugh. All right, buddy. If anybody's out there watching this
Yeah,
now
bro.
later, we've just been jamming on Troika Academy of Design Sublimation, our third party alchemy supplement for Troika. Uh, we're at like 400. Let me look on the back end right now. Let's see, view all by dashboard. Yeah, we're bucking up on like 300, almost $400.
That's awesome.
And so we've got, plenty of time left. We've got some goals for every however long, but my hope is we get to at least this $500 level.
It'd be fun to print it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll print it at 500 for sure. If we get up to 1,000, I'll pay somebody who is not just my child to come in and do some additional art. My child's getting paid either way, though. Don't worry.
And haircuts, apparently.
No, that's a different child. That child, just so you know, I don't just let any of my kids do it. That child was like, "I'll draw something for you," and I was like, "Get away from me. Go upstairs, and I'll cut your hair later."
Get out of here. Ride your awesome bike.
And so, but yeah, we got a couple sample pages up. We've got a beta version of the document out right now. If you download it, you get to see a lot of stuff we talked about already having done tonight. But we're going to work on this some more. I got to work on Repugnant and a couple other projects also too this week. But art's looking sweet. Whole thing's looking phenomenal. Super excited. Johnny's done a killer job with the layout like always. Let's see. On Wednesday, that's not the right image. On Wednesday, I've got Backer Quest, but we're also going to be doing a special featurette at the end of Backer Quest. Come back for that at 3 p.m. every other week. I back things on Kickstarter, buy stuff on Itch, and talk about things that are live in stores this week. We're actually going to have a couple special guests at the end to talk about this cool project that just popped up. Postcards from Cable Street that supports anti-fascist movements. So if you're not a fascist, show up.
If you don't show up, we'll just assume.
Well, we'll draw whatever conclusions we draw. And so you can find Alex's stuff wherever socks are missing.
Yeah, I'm at our Alex Murray all over the internet, Missing Sock Podcast Network, Child's Play for silly music, and Mystic Lasagna for silly mysticism and Garfield comics.
Yeah. We're going to be working that in if we get that $1,500 level. We'll teach you how to decode a Garfield comic.
Yeah, man. I'll teach you how to plumb the depths of the panels.